Peace, fam. Today I'm going to go in on black seed oil. Now, I put a lot of study into this particular remedy because I hear that it does so many things. And basically, the most credibility of the juice that I gave it was from the health effect from my brother Kareem. But since I've had so many other tonics at my own particular disposal, I never really saw the equity in black seed oil. But after this study, I jumped online and ordered the black seed oil right away. Okay, because as a scientist, studies speak for themselves. They speak volumes. Now, black seed oil is used to treat a variety of remedies or ailments, and we'll go over some: antihypertensive, parasites, anti-diabetic, liver tonic, diuretic, digestive, anti-diarrheal, stimulates appetite, aids in skin problems, and it is melanin food. Now, that part you probably haven't heard much on. One of the major constituents of black seed oil is thymoquinone, and in biochemistry, that is classified as a pain or a pan-assay interference compound. Now, Wiki's quote says that pains tend to non-specifically react with numerous biological targets rather than specifically affecting one desired target. Now, this is just a fancy way of saying compounds like black seed oil have the ability to attack multiple different pathogens in the body, okay, per dose, unlike drugs for the most part, which are formulated to attack a specific pathogen. So, for example, if you have the flu, you have to take one medicine for a runny nose and a different medicine for your headache, okay? Or they'll combine it in the same medication, but it's still two different components to attack specific pathogens. This is why black seed oil remedies so many things, because the magic allows it to destroy various and multiple pathogens at once. Now, this chart to the right is an illustration of the specific application of a compound and the multiple points of attack with the PAIN compound of which black seed oil is classified, the pan-assay interference compound. Black seed oil also has a chemical called terpenol or terpineol, which is very similar to the turpentine processed from the pine trees. So yes, black seed oil has the constituents of turpentine in it. And as we know, turpentine has been used for many years as a folklore cure by Aboriginal people. Here we have the Eremophila sturtii, commonly known as turpentine bush, is a shrub endemic to Australia. Aboriginal people give it names including Muniumpa and Watara. So they're familiar with the turpentine as well and its power. And even the slaves used turpentine. And I'm speaking of turpentine because terpineol, a constituent in black seed oil, is very similar to turpentine. So again, slaves used turpentine as well. Here's a historical account from a slave who practiced medicine as reported by a government program used to chronicle medicinal habits in the late 18 and early 1900s, or at least that's when they recorded it. And it says what follows are accounts by former slaves from Georgia describing their own words of their medicine as slaves. And it says, Miss White folks just had to be good to sick slaves, because slaves was property. For old master to lose a slave was losing money. Uh, there wasn't so many doctors them days, and homemade medicines were all the go. Oil and turpentine, camphor, uh, asafoetida, cherry bark, sweet gum, etc. So again, they just give accounts to the turpentine being used by the slaves of the North American slave era. So it seems our ancestors knew more than we were told. Now, if that wasn't enough, it also has the powerful chemical carvacrol, the same constituent in oregano oil. So what you need to know is that both these properties, terpineol and carvacrol, are well noted to consistently destroy bacterial cells by attacking their very functioning processes. They destroy the cell's walls, and they actually attack the ATP production of bacterial cells, which program the cells to die off. Now here's a big one. Black seed oil has a chemical agent called alpha heterin, which has been shown to increase the effectiveness of an anti-cancer drug called Adrucil. Now this is a proven study. This is what they've actually done studies on. The nature of this constituent is to destroy the biological process of cancer cells. So that's what we talk about, it destroying the ATP production and things of that nature. Black seed can also be helpful with diabetes if you eat correctly. Now, this is my own personal admonishment. Now, how is this? How it helps diabetes is the fact that it stimulates the regeneration of your pancreatic beta cells, which, as we know, those are the cells of the pancreas that signal the body to release insulin in the presence of glucose. These are the cells that are often damaged in type 1 diabetes. So that is the diabetes that is proven to be a mediator and to assist the body in its own healing process with, from the studies that I've read, with, or rather I should say in conjunction with a anti-diabetic eating regimen. And just a quick read, it says treatment with NS, that is the black seed oil, markedly increased body weight gain, and the FBG level was significantly reduced when compared to the control. Histopathical examinations showed that the NS partially recovered hepatic glycogen content and protected the great deal of the pancreatic islet cells. Okay, so all of these are just fancy numbers to show what their results were and how the um, black seed oil protected the cells of the pancreas in these diabetically induced rats. Now here's the magic, family. The component thymoquinol increases melanin production. Now this is the aspect you won't hear about casually, all right? And this right here is a King Saudi University study, a little small independent study, just one of the few that I looked into. And I suggest you get these small independent studies. This was done in Saudi Arabia. They have a tendency to be non-biased, more so because of the geographical location. But anyway, it says, recently melanin has been extracted and shown to occur abundantly in the seed coats of Nigella sativa. Melanin is a ubiquitous pigment of plants and animals. Okay, so they're talking about a high degree of melanin when they talk about the black seed oil, as we'll see in another study. Now here in this particular study, they talk about the fact that the presence of thymoquinol and melanin are actually together non-passive, meaning that they inhibit the growth of particular bacteria. And let me pan out for the whole article so that you can see what I'm talking about here. According to those studies, a clear and undeniable antibacterial effect caused by the N-sativa, the inhibition of the bacterial growth, was due to the presence of thymoquinone and melanin. So the melanin gives constituency to the oil, and it doesn't act passively, or it doesn't just occur passively. It is active in preventing bacterial growth as well as other functions in the black seed. I hope everybody caught that. Now here was a study where the actual physicians used black seed oil in hypopigmentation disease, better known as vitiligo. And these studies, mind you, are pretty recent, October 27, 2016. So these are not antiquated studies. This is basically new data coming out about the potentials of black seed oil. And as we scroll down here, we can see the results of an Ali and Matei study, which basically says they also studied the effects of the lyophilized seed extract on the Nigella sativa and its active ingredient, thymoquinone, on the isolated melanospores of the wall lizard to find the mechanism of skin darkening at the cellular level. The pigment cells responded by distinct dispersion, leading to skin darkening. So what that did was that led the same team, Ali and Matei and others, to perform a study on patients with hypopigmentation disease or vitiligo. And it says in 2011, in a randomized double-blind clinical study, patients applied N-sativa oil to lesions of vitiligo twice daily for 6 months. They had a significant decrease in the vitiligo area scoring index with no significant side effects. Okay, just a fancy way of saying that the majority of the people responded positively with a reduction in the lesion size according to, or rather as a result of the use of the black seed oil. Now, black seed oil also contains a very crucial element to melanin, which is copper. And it says here, copper deficiency has been described mostly in infants on total parenteral nutrition without adequate mineral supplementation, or in persons with persistent nephritic syndrome that increases copper losses, basically malnutrition children or people with diseases that deplete copper. Low copper status has been associated with bone malformation during development, increased osteoporosis, impaired melanin synthesis. So we have a herb here that not only preserves melanin, but has minerals in it that directly affect and benefit melanin production. And with adequate tyrosine intake, as we know, tyrosine is the amino acid that also benefits and promotes melanin production. Black seed oil, in conjunction with adequate intake, a proper intake, can be a very powerful tool in your arsenal to remain healthy despite all of the obstacles that try to prevent that. I was very impressed with this herb, and I will continue to study it. Peace. If this information has helped you in any way, or you found it valuable, don't hesitate to subscribe. Also, for consultations, go to listens101store.com, navigate down to the health consultations link, and from there it will take you to our health library page where you can receive a consultation.